Hello and welcome back. So I have returned from my small PvP break, and you know what that means. It's time to blow up some ships without actually blowing up one of my own. So, well, I'll start with my Cynabal because the ship became one of my most powerful cruisers that I own so far. And well, I like the super high DPS that I can get out of this ship, which I will improve. Now, speaking of the ship's DPS, currently I am at 941.31 DPS. If I were to change one of my rigs, I would get around 1100 cold DPS, which is very good. Been using the autocannons for a while, very powerful weapons, very efficient, very effective actually. And of course, the rest of the fit is mostly the same. Now, I did encounter some very interesting situations that might require me to change the build a little bit, and I'll actually show you what I mean by that. Now, the current rigs, I actually am thankful that I have the current rigs because they saved the ship. Now, for the modules, I think I will need to change the Disruptor into a Nosferatu as quickly as possible, but as you can see currently I lack power grid to do that. Now I can fit basically any other module besides that Nosferatu, and it seems like I'll have to spend 18 days to max out the cruiser engineering skills to increase the power grid. I could place the Nosferatu, but it requires me to remove the MVD, which would make me slower and that would make targets escape. And because of that, at the moment I will be using the good old fit that I've been using for some time, but you can expect in the near future that I will change my roaming fit, and the next fit that I'll be producing for this ship is most likely going to have a Nosferatu in the medium slots. And of course, I might replace some of the other modules as well. It all depends on what will happen, and well, it depends on what kind of ideas I will have. Now, to quickly simulate the current ship's performance, let's go to the fitting window. 1421.66 DPS, that is almost the same DPS that I have on my Machariel. You can say that this ship has Battleship DPS. It can be higher, by the way, it still can be higher. The resistances with the damage control unit are quite good, and this damage control unit can save your ship in critical situations. Now the capacitor is far away from stable, and the signature radius is 359 meters with the MVD on, which is okay, and its velocity 2.8 kilometers per second. Again, it is pretty fast. It could be faster, but now I think that I'll keep the current rigs that I have on this ship. Well then, I think it will be time to start with the hunt, and well, let's see what I will catch. Okay, let's see. I see there is a scout anomaly. Okay, going towards it. Let's see what I'll find inside, if there is anything inside actually. I'm about to find out. Oh, a prophecy. Waiting on the gate patiently. Interesting. Well, seems like this prophecy is... Yep, it is ready to fight. Excellent. Been waiting for this for some time now. Okay, its shield is going down. So far, so good. I'm webbed, I have a scrambler on my ship, and I have a neutralizer on my ship. Okay, damage control unit is doing the job. Prophecy on half armor. I will boost my shield as much as I can. The drones and the torpedoes that this prophecy is using are doing heavy damage. I might actually lose my shield here. That's fine. Been waiting for this for a while. Finally, a hard to kill prophecy. Okay, things are about to be interesting. There goes my shield. I'm taking armor damage. My internet is not on my side as well. Okay, prophecy on hull. I am on 50% armor. That was my last shield boost. I actually ran out of capacitor because of the neutralizer, and I am running out of armor. Alright, well, I'm about to take hull damage, that's fine. Both of the ships are now on hull. And this is where I actually started to sweat a little bit, because for a moment I thought that I'm done for, but I am just doing a little bit more damage, and that final hit nailed the prophecy. This is what I call a close one, a very close one. I left on 20% hull. Well, time for me to get the hell out of this anomaly before someone decides to finish me off. That was a very good fight. That prophecy was built to fight faction cruisers, and there is a high chance that this prophecy was actually waiting for me here. Because, well, I am quite known in these regions where I am hunting, so could be that someone decided to end my ship's career. And that was a good and a close fight. That player had fantastic skills for the drones and for missiles. Okay, on to the next target. Well, on to the next Inquisitor anomaly. Okay, jumping in. Let's see what's inside.
Warp drive active.
There are a couple in local, one blue, so there is a chance that I might stumble upon a friendly. So far this is empty. Okay. Let's go on to the next, to the third level, third room. And hopefully there is someone inside. Oh, nice, a faction frigate. And it is my favorite, a crewer. Well, time to put some onions near that vampire. Okay, yeah, that crewer is going to have a very bad day. If you let a Cynabal get this close to you, you are toasted. That little frigate is fighting, that's good. It is on hull now, and yep, the next hit finished it off. In couple hits, at least 3. Well, that was a very expensive kill. The first prophecy was actually more expensive than my faction cruiser, and this little vampire was also quite expensive. So yeah, nice kills, very nice kills. Okay, well, time for me to take some range in case someone decides to warp in. On to the next anomaly. Let's see what I'll find in this scout. Hopefully there is not a trap waiting for me at the other end, as there was in the first kill. Well, this is empty. And if it continues to be empty, I think I'll do this anomaly, because I might get some good stuff out of it, who knows. And it's empty. Okay, well, that means I'll just do a little active camping here, and I'll just wait to see if someone decides to pay me a visit. If that happens, well, I'll be ready. Now we might notice that there are no gun sounds, and I think my game kind of broke and the gun sounds are muted for some reason, so I'll have to fix that. And now I can actually explain why am I going to change the fit. I could have avoided a lot of the damage I took from that prophecy if I had one Nosferatu to replenish my capacitor. I could have enabled the gyros in time, and I would have destroyed the prophecy way before I reached 20% hull. So that is the fight that decided that it is time to, change the fit a little bit, because next time I might not be that lucky. That prophecy had a fantastic, it had fantastic DPS output, but it had a failed tank, and if that prophecy was armor tanked, I would have been toasted. But thankfully, in my case, luckily, it was a bad tanked ship, and I was able to delete it before it deleted me. So, for the future, I will have to have at least one medium Nosferatu, just to avoid situations like these. Because with the DPS on this ship, I can melt most ships very quickly, as you noticed with these first two ships. So that was a very rough battle. And in the future, I'll have to be a lot more careful. Anyone could have, jumped in and finished me off if they wanted to. So that was, when I think about it, very, very risky from my part. And in the end, it actually paid off. I made a lot of ISK from those two kills. Those two kills are, I think, one of my best kills that I've ever done so far, and I'm quite happy about that. It was a very good hunting session, if you wanna call it like that. And well, no one joined me in this anomaly, although there are 4 neutrals in the local. Oh well, there are actually 2 neutrals. Oh, okay. Well then, time to go on to the second part. And last time when I hopped in the Machariel, I kind of forgot to show you the rigs that I have on this ship. And of course, I'll be playing around with another fit in this case. A fit that has a little bit more DPS while retaining the same tank. So let's pop the fitting window. As you can see, 1,500 DPS, a little bit more than I have on the Cynabal. C-type large autocannons still in the high slots, very powerful weapons. Same modules in the medium slots. So far I've been able to hit frigates and destroyers without a problem. Now I have a MVD this time around, just to play around with a very fast battleship. I love the velocity on these angel ships, they are very impressive. And I placed one C-type gyro instead of a damage control unit, just to improve the DPS a little bit. Active DPS is 2000 flat, so that's decent. Kind of funny, I can get the same DPS on the Cynabal, and I'll do that in one of the next videos. As for the rigs, well, cannon collision accelerator, dual cannon collision accelerators, and one cannon burst aerator. In the engineering rigs, dual auxiliary thrusters, and I have one targeting system subcontroller, just to be able to lock on targets faster. So far, I've been having fun with this ship. I like this fit, I like the rigs. Of course, when tier 4 rigs are available, I'll switch to tier 4 rigs. But so far, these rigs are doing the job without a problem. And well, time to undock, and let's see what this ship can do. Now, you might be wondering, why am I not flying this ship outside of a fleet as of now? Well, currently I am very deep in Null, and we have visitors constantly, so I don't want to be a lone battleship surrounded by 30 interceptors. That wouldn't be nice, right? So I'll have to fly in a fleet, and I don't want to make my corp mates angry, because, well, whenever I fly this ship, I think they are literally supervising me constantly. I mean, I can't blame them. This ship was quite expensive to build. It was again a group effort to produce this ship, and well, it would not be good for me if I were to lose this. My corp mates would kill me. Alright, jokes aside, these battleships are excellent for fleets. They are very massive ships that need support from smaller ships, especially because they can be slow, although this ship is far from slow. But again, there are frigates and destroyers that are faster, and these ships can get easily overwhelmed by a lot of these smaller or agile ships. So a battleship is always recommended to be in a fleet. Now in high sec, if you want to do storylines with it, you can, it works. You just have to be careful not to rush between all of the enemy ships, because they will do a lot of damage despite being tanky. Due to the ship's size, due to the ship's signature radius, it is easy to hit, and the enemy ship weapons will do maximum possible damage. That's why I prefer to use this ship for storylines with artillery and from at least 50 plus kilometers distance. With autocannons you can get at least 100 kilometer range. With the large artillery you can get 250 plus kilometers. I've seen a tornado. A couple days ago a tornado came to visit us. A very fast tornado also uses large artillery. It sniped us at 150 plus kilometers. It managed to shoot down at least 5 of our ships, while we couldn't catch it because it was going maybe 3.5 kilometers per second. It was a very fast ship, and well, at the time none of us was prepared for that. Even our interceptors got destroyed. In that case, rushing it with a interceptor alone is not gonna end well, and it didn't, because we lost a couple of those as well. So definitely you can make the ship work in the similar way, because it is fast, it is the fastest battleship in the game, and you can use the speed for your own advantage. Outrun and outmaneuver your enemies. It works against other battleships, it works even against some battle cruisers. The Machariel is also warping very fast, warping literally as fast as cruisers, and that is impressive. You can warp side by side with cruisers with this ship, not something that other battleships can. Of course, without any rigs that will improve the warp velocity. And it is also quite agile. You can orbit things with the afterburner without a problem. You can also outmaneuver a lot of the battlecruisers, and yeah, you can in theory use the ship for solo PvP, although it is not recommended to do that, because after all this is a battleship, and solo PvP with a battleship, that's kind of weird. I mean, with cruisers it works. Cruisers are fast, very fast ships. With interceptors, obviously it works. With frigates, faction frigates, it works phenomenally good. But with battlecruisers and with battleships, the gameplay changes a little bit. You have to be more careful what you're doing with these ships. Now, one potential exclusion from that might be the Armageddon and Balgorn, because these two ships have bonuses on neutralizers and Nosferatus, and of course they have a bonus on Webifers. So those ships might work because of the bonuses, they're built for that. But again, they can get easily overwhelmed by a prepared fleet. So those ships, while having the highest potential for solo combat, it is still recommended to use them in a fleet. and that's generally a rule for all of the battleships in the game. All of the battleships and of course ships that are going to arrive very soon. Dreadnoughts, carriers, supercarriers, and of course Titans. They are all ships that are good for fleets and that are very vulnerable if they are solo. Now, speaking of dreadnoughts, well, I don't know if I will fly one, depends on if I get the skills in time. If I end up flying one of these ships, it will be fun. I'll definitely go with the Minmatar, dreadnought. That ship is beautiful. I like the design of it, and well, it will be time to. In that case, it will be time to fly these things for major fleet operations. As for battleships, I'll get a Dominix very soon, but so far I'm having a blast with the Machariel. And if you're like curious, if you need a faction battleship, and if you're not sure which one you want to get, I can definitely recommend the Machariel. Besides being the cheapest of the faction battleships, it is one of the more fun to fly. Because of its overall performance and bonuses, it makes the ship be very good. Now, am I going to get another faction battleship? Well, depends. I don't know. At the moment, I kind of don't need one. I have this thing that I love to fly, so I'm quite happy with it. And at the moment, if I were to choose another faction battleship, it might be the Nestor, because of the drones. I will have good large drone skills very soon too. So if I were to choose a second one, it will be the Nestor for the drones. It was my original goal, but it wasn't released in the time being, so I had to go with this one. And the Nestor will have very good repair bonuses, and it will be a very important ship. Now a quick demonstration of the warp capabilities. As you can see, I'm literally warping side by side with these two cruisers. And yeah, that is kind of funny. One of the longest ships in the game is as fast as a cruiser in warp. And it can be actually fast in normal propulsion with the MVD, literally as fast as my Cynabal with the MVD, which is impressive for a battleship. Well, I guess that is the fusion technology between Galenta and Minmatar. Galenta hull with Minmatar weapon systems and, well, Minmatar overall, I guess, engines. And let's quickly go on to the next anomaly. So far, I had a blast with all of these anomalies. We are doing them very quickly. We also have a Vindicator on our side, which does a lot of damage. That Vindy is built for DPS, while I am more built for, well, for resistance, and of course I have a small part in DPS too, but the Vindy has a lot more DPS in this case. I can go for a full DPS fit if I want to, but at the moment, for the purposes that I need the ship for, this is doing a phenomenal job, and I can't complain about the current DPS and the current performance. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed. This was a kind of a different type of video, and it was also one of the riskiest combat that I had in a while. Was actually worth it. I had a blast shooting down these ships, and it was fun to fight as always. And well, as always, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.